Pam Godboyce here from Pam Godboyce Yoga and Wellness. And I had some requests from some individuals about some more ball rolling videos. I did the Paraformis ball rolling video, and which is my fave. And I'm going to share with you now another one that I really like. It's super simple, and you don't actually need balls. You can use one of those little like round tubes, like a small, even like a pool noodle. Anything that can fit into your armpit. I know that doesn't sound very pleasant, does it? So we're going to take whatever you have, pool noodle, balls, a pair of balls. So I've done it, I don't think I have that Alpha, oh I do. I've done it with both of these. I've done it with the Alpha, I've done it with this, and I've done it with like a straight roller, like one of those like nubby rollers. Any of them work, you just kind of have to figure out what feels best for your body. And when I say best, sometimes I mean worst, right? So let's be honest, when we're talking ball rolling, sometimes it's like, that feels awful, it feels like torture, and I don't like it. But then the benefit is good. So just be really careful in this area underneath the armpit, because it is sensitive. Don't ball roll like you power lift. It's a bad idea. Ball roll like you do yoga. Like ball roll, like listen to your body and go, yeah, I think that's probably going to be my limit. That's cool. So maybe you'll bring the ball into the armpit. So it's just coming right in. This little pocket here. It's actually some of the rotator cuff muscles. And we'll just start by like being here and pulling the elbow down. And you might notice this right away in the side of the rib cage, starting to come into some of the rotator cuff muscles, and some of the side body, teres major and minor, maybe you get under there, serratus muscles, that kind of stuff. The lats wrap under there, the traps wrap under there. Yeah, good times. So maybe you start there and you're like, oh, that feels awesome. Cool, this is where I'm going to stay. Or maybe I'm going to switch over to the double balls for this. Maybe you bring the hand back behind. This is kind of the ideal place to be. So you bring the hand back behind. Maybe you reach around with the other hand and you grab on. You give it a little pull, not a big pull, just a little one. Or if you're feeling like you can handle more pressure, maybe you take this elbow. This is my bad shoulder, so I'm going to stay here. Maybe you take this elbow and you come up against the wall and you use pressure from the wall. So not a lot of pressure, you just kind of press into the wall just a little bit. You can do the same thing on the ground. So if you happen to have more open shoulders than I do, or not an injury, and I'll show you the ground on the other side, you can come down, lay down onto your side on the ground here, and you get a pretty good release. So I'll demo that on the other side. So same action, you're going to do both sides, you're going to hold it longer than that. You might start here, you might bring the hand back behind and be like, okay, that's good. It might not be. You might come up against the wall and press, or this exact same action, this is the exact same action you would do at the wall, except I'm going to do it on the ground. So the elbow comes down, I lay down, oh god, that hurts. You might lay here. You've noticed I'm a little bit forward. That's because the arm's behind me. That's good. This is also going to press when you're in a laying down position. It's also going to start to press into the biceps. So you're going to get kind of more opening through the joint capsules and the biceps. And this is going to help to release all around the shoulder, interestingly enough, because it's creating space in there. There's a whole technical process that happens with how dense the connective tissue is, the joint capsules and all of that stuff. And if you'd like that article, I can send it to you. But really the big thing is if you're rolling at the joints, you're really kind of pinning at the joints, hanging out there, taking a bunch of breaths. And so the same process can be transferred to other joints. So maybe you come here. If you have larger bicep or forearm muscles, you might need a little space between the balls. You might come here. You can do the exact same thing. You might come down onto the ground. Hand comes in line with the chest. You might hang out, take however many breaths you need, and then then switch over to the other side. Make sure that you do both sides. So even when I'm demoing, I try to do both sides because otherwise I end up all out of balance. So this is the tighter side for me because this is my injured shoulder that is rehabbing. So everything, because it was a rotator cuff tear, everything like the bicep brachia, anything that comes up into the shoulder is affected. So my bicep is super affected by this. And so this is a great one for me. Hand comes, if I'm on the ground, my hand's going to come forward. My palm is going to come down. And I'm going to put pressure in. You can do the same thing with a wall, or you could just grab on. Just don't break your arm. Like, this is not powerlifting, it's ball rolling. And so maybe you release there. I'm going to show you one more because we're here. So I might as well. I'm going to take one of the balls out. So you do want a ball for this, or something that is round. And it does not have to be a rolling ball. It could be like a soft, like a softer ball, kind of like a little blow up ball, or like one of those little like workout, not weighted balls, but that kind of material where it's rubberized. Or it could be something like this. It could be a tennis ball. But like I have said before, there's like a million rolling systems. I tend to really like Jill Miller's yoga tune-up balls because they're super versatile and you don't need 8,000 different tools. And then there are some that have a ton of different tools, which I've shown you some of those systems before. So we'll come down onto our back, and what we're going to do is we're going to come into this little pocket here between the back of the arm and the torso. So if you were to take your hand right into your armpit and reach around to the back, this kind of meaty spot right here is where we're going to roll. You actually could roll the same meaty spot on the front. This would be pec minor and bicep brachii insertion points, or attachment points. So we're going to take this meaty spot. So the ball's going to come underneath that. So we'll lay down, bring the ball down. And then you might be like, okay, cool, but now I'm going to take it one step further and I'm going to roll onto my side so that the weight of my body is on the ball, not just the weight of my arm is on the ball. And I might hang here for 20, 30 breaths. You might notice like some all sorts of weird sensations in the shoulder and down into the arm. That's okay. You might add in a little bit of torso movement. You might add in a little bit of arm movement. I'll go slowly. Hang out there for a while. And then switch over to the other side. I know, this is what I do when I ball roll. I flop back and forth a lot. So same action here. It's going to come, you're going to find that meaty spot. Hand comes right into the armpit. You're going to find that meaty spot on the back. And you're going to come down onto it. This is a kind of shoot off the mat one for me because, again, it's the bad shoulder. So this muscle is pretty damaged right here. There's a lot of scar tissue around there. So you saw on the first side, I was kind of like, yeah, cool, whatever, hang out here. That might be the case for you on both of these. It might. It might not. It might be that both of them make you shoot off the mat. It might be that, like me, one side is worse off than the other. And what we have determined, or kind of what we have an understanding of, is that, maybe add a little movement, this is hard on this side for me, is that the stronger side, so for instance, I'm right-handed. I'm going to come up and tell you this. So my right side is stronger. And because my right side is stronger, the muscle tissue on the right side is more dense. And because the muscle tissue on the right side is more dense, it pulls a little bit more. So as that musculature on the stronger, tenser side pulls a little bit more, the weaker side is a little bit more overstretched sometimes, and also more sensitive. So it's not just because, it's not necessarily that like your left side's weaker than your right and that's why, and it should be more open or it's more flexible so you don't understand why it hurts so much. Because of what happens to the muscle fibers become more sensitive to the ball rolling. So that's part of the reason why the left side is torture for me. When I roll, I do it, but it's still torture. So give it a try. Try out any of these, all of these. Get yourself a set of balls. And go from there. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your feedback on this stuff. And I look forward to hearing from you. You can reach me at at pamgodvoice.com. It's right here on the screen. Or you can find me on my website at pamgodvoice.com. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.